We like to believe science has all the answers, but the truth? Well, some things just don't add up, and instead of digging deeper, scientists either ignore them, dismiss them as hoaxes, or call them mass hysteria. But here's the thing. Too many people have witnessed, recorded, and investigated these events for them to just be brushed aside. From vanishing travelers and eerie UFO sightings to unsolved mass disappearances, these cases defy logic, leaving behind questions with no clear answers. Are these glitches in reality proof of something beyond our understanding, or just cosmic pranks? Science refuses to acknowledge them, but that doesn't mean we should. Buckle up, because these 15 bizarre, mind-bending encounters will have you questioning what's real, what's possible, and whether we truly understand the world around us. Number 15. The Phoenix Lights. On March 13, 1997, the skies over Phoenix, Arizona turned into a scene straight out of science fiction. Thousands of people, pilots, police officers, families, and even Arizona's governor witnessed a massive V-shaped formation of glowing orbs moving silently across the sky. The official explanation: flares dropped by military aircraft. But here's the problem. Military flares don't move in formation, hover for hours, or make thousands of people report the exact same thing. Even former Governor Fife Symington, who initially mocked the event, later admitted, "It was definitely something otherworldly. I saw it myself, and it was unlike anything I'd ever seen." Despite radar data and hundreds of video recordings, no official explanation has ever been proven. If this was just flares, why classify documents about it? Why did the Air Force take weeks to give a statement? Well, we don't know, and maybe we'll never. Why we don't have permission to visit the forbidden, to study the history, or knowledge that makes us smarter. Number 14. The Overtown Bridge Mystery. In a quiet Scottish village, there's a bridge that's been drawing dogs to their deaths for decades. Overtown Bridge near Dumbarton isn't just a normal crossing. It's a place where, for some unknown reason, hundreds of dogs have leapt off the edge, falling to the rocks below. Most die instantly. Some survive, only to climb back up and jump again. Locals believe the bridge is haunted, pointing to stories of tragedies, including a man who threw his infant son off the bridge in 1994, claiming the baby was the Antichrist. Scientists, on the other hand, insist it's due to scent trails from minks and other animals. But that doesn't explain why only certain breeds, long-nosed dogs like collies and retrievers, are affected. Even ghost hunters and psychics have reported strange feelings of dread near the bridge. Is this a psychological trigger, a natural anomaly, or something paranormal? Whatever the cause, science has no clear answer. Number 13. The Man from Taured. In 1954, Tokyo's Haneda Airport had a routine day, until a man arrived with a passport from a country that didn't exist. This well-dressed, fluent Japanese-speaking traveler presented documents from Taured, a nation that, according to every official map, has never existed. Confused, customs officials asked him to point out his country on a map. He pointed to the area of Andorra, a real European country, but looked frustrated when told Taured doesn't exist. His passport, driver's license, and business documents were real, with official stamps from multiple countries, including Japan. Even stranger, his company, which he had business meetings scheduled with, did exist, but had never heard of him. Authorities placed him in a guarded hotel room overnight while they investigated. By morning, he was gone, vanished without a trace, along with all his documents. Did this man slip through dimensions, come from an alternate timeline, or was this an elaborate hoax? Science has no answers, because this case was never solved. Number 12. The Tunguska Explosion. On June 30th, 1908, something exploded over Siberia with the force of 1,000 Hiroshima bombs, flattening 800 square miles of forest. The blast was so powerful that windows shattered in Europe, and seismic instruments detected it worldwide, yet no impact crater was ever found. Scientists first thought it was a meteor, except there was no debris, no fragments, nothing. Some suggest it was a comet, which would have burned up entirely. But that still doesn't explain why trees directly beneath the blast were left standing, while everything around them was flattened outward. Theories range from alien explosions to a miniature black hole passing through Earth. Some even believe Tesla's wireless energy experiments could have triggered it, but there's no proof. Over a century later, we still don't know what caused the largest unexplained explosion in recorded history. Number 11. The ghost rockets. In 1946, something strange streaked across the skies of Sweden, Norway, and Finland. Hundreds of cigar-shaped objects, now known as ghost rockets, were reported gliding silently, changing directions mid-flight, and sometimes crashing into lakes. With World War II just ending, many believed these were secret Soviet missiles, but no wreckage or impact sites were ever found. The Swedish military recovered one that crashed into a lake, only to report that there was no debris, no wreck, and no traces of metal. Witnesses described objects moving too fast and erratic for conventional aircraft, but no country claimed them. Unlike most UFO cases, the military took ghost rockets seriously. Sweden even launched a classified investigation, which was later revealed to have collected over 1,000 reports, but no solid explanations. To this day, Sweden's government still refuses to declassify parts of their findings. If these weren't weapons, what were they? Number 10. The vanishing of Flight 19. On December 5, 1945, 5 U.S. Navy bombers took off from Florida for a routine training flight. They never returned. The squadron, known as Flight 19, vanished mid-air, and radio transmissions became erratic and panicked before all contact was lost. Their last recorded message? "Everything looks wrong. We don't know where we are. The ocean doesn't look right." The Navy sent a rescue plane, but it vanished too, along with its 13 crew members. Despite a massive search, no wreckage was ever found. Not a single piece of debris, no oil slick, nothing. This case is the foundation of the Bermuda Triangle legend, but to this day, no explanation fully accounts for what happened. Theories include electromagnetic disturbances, rogue waves, and even time warps, but none can explain why an entire squadron and a search plane disappeared without a trace. Number 9. The Green Children of Woolpit. Sometime in the 12th century, villagers in Woolpit, England, discovered 2 children wandering out of a cave with green skin. They spoke an unknown language, refused to eat anything except raw beans, and seemed completely lost. Over time, they learned English. When asked where they came from, they said they lived in a twilight land called St. Martin's Land, where the sun never fully rose. The boy eventually grew sick and died, but the girl survived. As she adapted, her green hue faded, and she integrated into English society. Historians have no explanation. Some suggest they were orphaned children with a rare illness, but this doesn't explain their mysterious language or strange dietary needs. Others believe they accidentally wandered in from another dimension or were part of a failed experiment. Whatever the truth, their existence is well documented, but science has no answer for where they really came from. Number 8. The 1957 Kira UFO incident. Japan's Kira UFO case isn't just another blurry sighting. It's one of the only cases where an actual UFO was held, studied, and then lost. In 1957, a group of schoolboys in Kira, Japan, saw a small metallic disc hovering nearby. Curious, they grabbed it. The object was shiny, metallic, and the size of a rice bowl. It had a strange, smooth surface with no visible seams or openings. After examining it, they stored it in a backpack, but the next day, it was gone. Days later, the object returned. The boys grabbed it again, but this time, it lifted itself out of their hands and vanished into the sky. Multiple witnesses, including teachers and locals, saw the disc hovering and maneuvering in ways no drone or balloon could at the time. Unlike most UFO stories, this was a physical object, yet science still pretends it never happened. Now, let's move to Number 7. The Dyatlov Pass Incident. In 1959, 9 experienced hikers set out into Russia's Ural Mountains. Days later, search teams found their bodies scattered across the snow, some with crushed skulls, missing eyes, and even a missing tongue, but no signs of struggle. Their tent was slashed open from the inside, and their footprints led into the snow, where some died from extreme cold, while others suffered internal injuries comparable to a car crash. There were no external wounds, and radiation was found on their clothing. The official explanation? Avalanche or hypothermia. But the evidence doesn't match. Their injuries were too severe, and the tent was undisturbed. Witnesses reported strange orange lights in the sky around the time of their deaths, leading some to believe they encountered a classified military experiment, a secret weapon test, or something unknown. The Russian government sealed the case for decades, and even today, no one knows what really happened. Number 6. The Pollock Twins. Reincarnation is often dismissed as myth or religious belief, but the Pollock twins case makes even skeptics pause. In 1957, 2 young girls, Joanna and Jacqueline, were killed in a tragic car accident in England. Their parents were devastated, until a year later when their mother gave birth to twin girls, Jillian and Jennifer. From an early age, the twins started recalling details about their deceased sisters, describing places they had never been, knowing family secrets they shouldn't have known, and even recognizing their sisters' toys. Jennifer had an identical birthmark to Jacqueline. As they grew older, these memories faded, a pattern seen in many past life recall cases. Psychologists and scientists have never been able to fully explain how the twins knew so much about their older sisters, leading many to consider this one of the strongest cases of reincarnation ever recorded. Number 5. The Hessdalen Lights. In a remote valley in Norway, glowing orbs of light have been floating, zigzagging, and disappearing for decades. The Hessdalen Lights have been seen since the 1940s, with scientists and researchers documenting them extensively. Yet to this day, no one knows what they are. These lights hover in place, dart at impossible speeds, and even change colors: red, white, blue, and yellow. Some stay visible for minutes, while others flash for just seconds. Unlike most UFO sightings, the Hessdalen Lights are consistently recorded, with entire research projects dedicated to tracking them. Theories range from plasma phenomena to secret military tests. One study suggested metallic dust interacting with the Earth's magnetic field, but nothing has been proven. Unlike most UFO cases, these lights aren't one-time sightings. They keep appearing, and scientists can't explain them. Until we understand them, the Hessdalen Valley remains one of Earth's strangest locations. Number 4. The WOW Signal. On August 15, 1977, a radio telescope in Ohio picked up a 72-second-long signal from deep space, so strong and distinct that the astronomer who found it circled it on the data printout and wrote "WOW" next to it. Unlike any other space signal, the WOW signal matched expected patterns for an intelligent transmission. It came from the direction of the Sagittarius constellation, yet when scientists tried to detect it again, nothing. Theories include pulsars, passing satellites, or Earth-based interference, but none fully explain why the signal was so strong and clear, or why it never repeated. Some believe it could have been an intentional transmission from extraterrestrial life, a brief ping sent across the galaxy. Decades later, the WOW Signal remains the best candidate for an alien message ever recorded. If it was just noise, why haven't we picked up anything similar since? Number 3. The Sodder children's disappearance. On Christmas Eve, 1945, a fire tore through the Sodder family home in West Virginia. The parents and 4 of their children escaped, but their other 5 children seemingly vanished. And what followed is one of the strangest missing person cases ever recorded. After the fire, investigators found no bones, no remains, nothing, as if the children had never been in the house at all. Witnesses later claimed they saw the children alive in a passing car during the fire. Others reported spotting them with unknown adults days later. Theories exploded. Were they kidnapped? Did the fire cover up something else? Even more chilling, years later, the Sodders received a cryptic letter with a photo of a young man who resembled one of the missing boys. Written on it was, "Louis Sodder, I love brother Frankie, Elil boys, a 90132 or 35 inches. The family hired investigators, but no solid answers ever surfaced." The Sodder case remains one of America's greatest unsolved mysteries. Number 2. The Taos hum. In Taos, New Mexico, a low, droning hum has plagued residents for decades. Some describe it as a distant engine, others as a deep, vibrating noise that never stops. The weirdest part? Only a fraction of people can hear it. Scientists have tried to track the source, seismic activity, electrical interference, even military experiments, but nothing fits. Sensitive audio equipment has never been able to fully capture it, and there's no single source to pinpoint. People who hear it suffer from insomnia, headaches, and even paranoia. Theories range from secret underground tunnels to sound frequencies affecting the human brain. Some believe it's a natural Earth vibration, while others insist it's government mind control experiments. The Taos hum is just one of many hum phenomena reported worldwide, but science still refuses to acknowledge a definitive cause. If sound is a wave, why can't we trace where it's coming from? Number 1. The disappearance of the crew of the Mary Celeste. The Mary Celeste was a fully stocked, seaworthy ship, but when it was found drifting in the Atlantic in 1872, its entire crew had vanished without a trace. The ship's logs showed no distress signals, no signs of a storm or attack. Everything was in perfect condition, food untouched, cargo secure, and even personal belongings still in place. But the captain, his family, and all crew members were missing. No bodies were ever found. No wreckage. Nothing. Theories range from pirates to waterspouts, even time warps or alien abduction. But none explain why experienced sailors would abandon a perfectly functioning ship in the middle of the ocean. Even with modern analysis, the mystery of the Mary Celeste remains unsolved. No scientific explanation fully accounts for why the crew vanished so suddenly, making this one of the greatest maritime disappearances in history. If you have enjoyed this video, well, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon in the next one.